Hey, good people. Another AT jaunt. This time I'm going from Woody Gap to Cooper Gap. Once again, I'm getting a bit of a late start. It's a little bit after 6 and sunset is a little bit after 7. It's beautiful October weather. The trees are just starting to turn here. I think it's in the low 60s, and I'm just waiting for my body to warm up a little bit as I get going. Low tonight, I expect to be somewhere maybe in the low 40s, maybe mid 40s. So I did bring my warmer sleeping bag. That's a 30-degree quilt. I also brought my X-Therm pad just in case it gets below 40. Sometimes my Nemo tensor can be not quite toasty when you're down in that 40-degree range or a little below. I've only got a little under 14 pounds of gear, including food, fuel, and water. I would call this a full comfort gear setup. I've got a tent held up with trekking poles, so trekking pole tent, my Z-Pax duplex. I have a full-length wide sleeping pad with Emerist X-Therm. I've got a framed backpack with my Z-Pax Arc Air, warm clothing, got everything I need. So I've arrived at one of the campsites along the trail. Got a little bit of a view up behind me with the sunset. Beautiful spot, but I've hardly gone anywhere on the trail, so I'm going to keep going, see where I end up. I'm going to put my hood up from my OR Echo Sun hoodie just to keep my ears warm. I'm feeling that little bit of cold that creeps inside your ear. Okay, we are at the official sunset for this area. It's a few minutes after 7. It's still beautiful out though. My body is warmed up from the hiking and I'm ready to keep going for a while. So I've got a fully charged headlamp and it looks like I may be able to make it to a water source and then decide where to go from there for camp if I want to climb up from it a little bit and camp higher and drier, which is likely what I'll do, or if I want to camp near there. It's getting pretty dark. It's about time for the headlamp. I'm passing another campsite. I'm going to keep going. So tonight it's only going to get down to the mid 40s, maybe around 46. So I should be plenty warm. It's time for a little night hiking. I'm using the brightest red setting on my Nightcore NU25 headlamp. And I've got it tucked into my hip belt from the bottom side and tilted towards the trail. You have to tuck it in from the bottom side in order to be able to tilt it downwards toward the trail so you can see where you're going. There's actually a lot more light out here than it looks like in the video. But we don't have any more regular sunlight. Just last remnants of the sunset kind of illuminating the sky above in general, and then my headlamp illuminating the trail itself. Ah, water. Gotta love it. Okay, I'm ready to get back on the trail. I decided to put my wind shirt on, and I've got my OR sun gloves on. So I'm gonna try to go about the right pace to keep my temperature not too hot so I don't sweat and not too cold. All right, I got my 3 cheese lasagna. Looks like I'm gonna need 2 cups of water. And what I'm gonna do is unfold my stove here, screw it right onto my fuel canister, and get those 2 cups of water boiling so I can have myself some lasagna. All right, to measure my 2 cups, I've got markings on this bottle at a half cup, 1 cup, 1.5, 2 cup. And I got my dinner warming up there, cooking it with that boiling water that I added. I'll eat that in a minute. Got my pack, semi packed up again and ready to go. All right, I am set up for the night. I'm in a little clearing. Trail's just, I don't know, 30 feet over that way. And there's just this little space in the trees, big enough for my tent. It's actually pretty cozy. Well, good morning. Let's see, 7:35. Time to get packed up and hiking on what should be a beautiful day. Supposed to be a high of around 70 today. 69, I think, is what my inReach said. We got about 4 miles to go to get to Cooper's Gap. I had really beautiful moon last night. It was actually really pretty, the way the moon would just shine through the leaves a little bit in the tent. And at least in the tent, I think it only got down to about 54, 55. So actually it didn't really get very cold where I am. I'm in a pretty warm spot. So I was actually almost too warm at one point. After I get packed up, then let's get hiking. Let's get out of this tent. I got everything in my pack. This is my Malafume pack liner. I've got everything arranged except for what's going to go on top of my sleeping bag, and we'll be on the road. It's 11 minutes after 8. Let's get hiking. Great day to be on the Appalachian Trail. The sunlight has just about reached me. In fact, I think I just had a flash of it hit me a moment ago. Wonderful time when you can have this dappled sunlight. I think I mentioned it before in other videos. Needless to say, I love it out here. Heading into some rhododendrons. Time to have some fun. As you can see, I've climbed high enough to get into real sun. Feels good. Here I am at Cooper Gap. Turns out this is not where I stopped last time. I need to go to the next junction with Forest Service Road 42. Looks like it's about 1.6 extra miles, which is going to add 3.2 on, so another hour onto my trip in order to make sure I connect everything. So I'm going to do that. Bridge walking the Appalachian Mountains. Nice flat stretch here. Now I'm at the junction with Forest Service Road 42, right there, where I was before when I was coming up the other way. So I'm now connected these parts of the trail and I'm ready to head back. Well, I tell you, it's a good thing I like exercise, because this is a long 3.2 to make this connection with the up and down boulder fields. Ooh, back on the ridge. This extra 3.2 is tough. When I get done with this extra piece to make my connection, I actually have the toughest climb of this hike, which is coming up from Cooper Gap to Justice Mountain. A little trail magic here. This is actually the first time I'm availing myself of trail magic. Folks who leave water or snacks or give out a little bit of sustenance and good cheer to folks hiking these trails. Thanks to whoever left this. I'm at Cooper's Gap on the AT. If you watch this video, leave me a comment. Thanks for the water. All right, so it appears that the AT scoots around Justice Mountain, and the track that I had for this section of the trail actually was someone going up to the top of Justice Mountain, maybe off trail or something. Aha. Confirmed I'm on the right path. Such a lovely day for walking. Sunny, but I've got shade from the forest. A little bit of crunch with the leaves on the ground, but not too much. Just starting to see the leaves turn here and there. Some beautiful streams. Fun stuff. I just met a couple of guys that day hiking from Woody Gap. That's where I'm headed back to. And one of them gave me this gift as a safety leaf. If you see this video, give me a comment. Thanks. .6 to go. Best view of the hike, right here. I'm really close to the car now. Adding it up, it's going to be just shy of 20 miles when you add on the 3.2 that I had to do to make my connection, and the looks like it might be 8.2 each way from Woody Gap to Cooper Gap. Back at Woody Gap. This says Gooch Gap 4. It said 3.6 on the other end to get to Woody Gap. Wonder what's right. All right, Woody Gap to Gooch to Cooper to Horse and then back.